Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the American Nightmare Podcast. This is episode 82, recorded January 22nd, 2025.
Wow.
Control yourself!
All right.
Yes, control yourself.
Yeah, control yourself. All right. Man, it seems like we got a bunch of news to talk about, so let's get started right away. But it seems like it is trailer season. Tons of films are coming out over the next 2 months.
I know.
Just
It's great.
floored
Horror
by
to
it.
boot, right?
Yeah, horror is going to have a year in 2025. Not like life itself is going to be horror, but we're also going to have horror films on top of that.
Well, at least those films will help us to distract us from the real horrors.
Yes, hopefully.
Hopefully. I mean,
right,
once I get rounded up and thrown into a concentration camp, I don't know if I'll be able to watch
dear
horror
God.
movies anymore.
Yeah. Shit.
Or re-education camp, is that what they're going to call it?
Well, Christian re-education camp. You gotta bend the knee to Christ.
Or
Crystal
Orange Christ.
fascist.
Orange Christ.
Marmalade Mussolini. All right. Let's start with the news. Okay. Little Bites. I talked to you guys a little while ago about this. I got the premiere. You can't hear me still.
Well, it's buzzy again.
Yep. You're good. Keep
All right.
going.
Could be the internet. I'm hoping. Let's
Keep
see.
going. Yep.
All right. The production shares.
Nope.
Little Bites is going to be streaming on Shudder February 21st.
That's better.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. I don't know what's happening here. All right. New trailer, redband trailer for The Monkey. In theaters February 21st. That looks pretty awesome.
It does. I haven't seen the new trailer yet.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be.
It looks like a fun
crazy
movie.
Awesome.
It
Yep.
looks like it's going to be a fun movie. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I will say this, that I did read an article about the reviews for the premiere that was a week or two ago presented by Neon and Beyond Fest here in Los Angeles. I tried to get into that premiere, but the tickets were gone so fast. But everyone that attended it has been posting on X and on Instagram that this is a fantastic movie. Reminds them of Gremlins a little bit.
Gremlins.
And
Nice.
that is hilariously funny and filled with gore. So
Awesome.
I'm excited about that.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Opus trailer from writer-director Mark Anthony Green starring Ayo Ibiri. I'm sorry, I'm butchering the name. Ibiri?
That's the,
John Malkovich, Juliette Lewis, Murray Bartlett, Amber Midthunder, Stephanie Sugami, Young Mazio, a bunch of other people. It's in theaters March 14th. This is being produced by A24. A24 is financing the film, and A24 is going to be distributing the film.
It looks
So I'm very
interesting.
excited for this one. Yeah, it looks really interesting. And
That's the girl from
Juliette
the
Lewis looks
from the
crazy.
Bear.
That's right. And John Malkovich. I mean, come on.
Plays like a cult leader.
Yeah, like it looks really great.
It does. It looks. There's a lot of good shit coming out, man.
Yeah, so that trailer, Opus, excited for that one. Another thing to look forward to in March. Another trailer, the movie Presence. This one comes out January 24th. Only
They're
2
not
weeks
giving
now.
anything away on that one either.
Not at
It's
all.
like-
Not
yeah,
at
I know.
all.
I know.
Again, by Neon Pictures. Look, at A24 and Neon are going to be our salvation for the
Yeah.
hell that is 2025 cranking out these movies.
Yes.
Presence is a family moves into a suburban house, becomes convinced that they're not alone. That's it.
Yep.
The film is by Steven Soderbergh, which, hey, man, that's quite a name to go with it. We'll see what happens.
It can go so many ways. You know, it could be poltergeist. It could be like other people. It could be like, monsters.
They kind of allude that it turns the haunted house genre upside down. I can't wait to see it.
Nice.
Another trailer that I just came out today, Hell of a Summer.
Oh yeah,
Hell
I
of a
saw you
Summer.
posted that. I didn't watch that one yet.
Hell of a Summer here's the great thing about this. This movie is directed by Finn Wolfhard.
Really?
Yeah. Hell of a
Oh.
Summer follows 24-year-old camp counselor Jason Mockbird, who arrives at Camp Pineway thinking the biggest problem is that he feels out of touch with his teenage coworkers. What he doesn't know is that a masked killer is lurking in the campgrounds, brutally picking off counselors one by one.
I think I do remember reading a little blurb about him working on. Is it a horror comedy or is it straight
Yes,
horror?
horror comedy. Yep.
Yeah, I thought I
And
remember
it
him.
looks great. It looks like a good mix of funny and gory horror.
Have to check that out. Haven't watched the trailer yet.
Another film that we've seen a trailer for probably late last month after we already had our podcast, but in theaters February 7th, Heart Eyes.
Oh yeah. Oh.
That one looks really fucking good.
It gives me Thanksgiving vibes.
Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
yes.
But I like Thanksgiving, so you know what? I'll I thought it looked good.
Yeah, this is Heart Eyes has wreaked havoc on Valentine's Day, stalking and murdering romantic couples. This Valentine's Day, no one is safe. Directed by Josh Rubin. It says that the cast is Olivia Holt, Mason Gooding, Gigi Zubato, Michael Watkins, Devin Sawa, and Joanna Brewster. Sounds like a good
Anytime
cast.
Devin Sawa's in a movie, I got to check it out.
My man, Devin Sawa. All right. Another trailer, Drop. This is a horror thriller, and it's coming out April 11th. First date, nerve-wracking enough. Going to a first date while an unnamed, unseen troll pings your personal memes and escalates from annoying homicidal to blood-chilling. The trailer looks pretty decent, pretty thrilling, and it's almost like I'm trying to think of what movie. It reminded me of another movie, and I can't remember what it was. But the trailer for Drop will also post all. We're going to post all these links to our Blue Sky account, and I'll also try and get them on Facebook. But I can't guarantee that. Another trailer for the video game adaptation Until Dawn.
That also looks really good.
That trailer looks pretty good too.
It did, for sure. I never played that game.
Neither have I.
It was good. It was a really good game.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah.
Did it seem very close to the game?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, the killer was the same, but I mean, it's sort of a choose your own adventure.
Oh, okay.
Like when you play the game, like you can hide or you can run. You know what I mean? So there's really no.
Yeah, the trailer says, "Can you make it until dawn?" Coming exclusively to theaters April 25th. 1 year after her sister Melanie mysteriously disappears, Clover and her friends head to a remote valley where she vanished in search of answers. Exploring an abandoned visitor center, they find themselves stalked by a mass killer, horrifically murdering one by one, only to wake up and find themselves back at the beginning of the same evening. Trapped in the valley, they're forced to relive the nightmare again and again, only each time the killer threat is different, each more terrifying than the last. Hope dwindling, the group soon realizes that they have a limited number of deaths left, and the only way to escape is to survive until dawn.
It
sounds interesting.
I thought the trailer looked good. It looked creepy.
Another trailer. The Woman in the Yard. This one is being released by Universal Pictures. Check out the official trailer on our Blue Sky feed. It's in theaters March 28th, 2025. A mysterious woman who repeatedly appears in a family's front yard, often delivering chilling warnings and unsettling messages, leaves the residents to question her identity, motives, and potential danger that she might pose.
It looked okay.
Universal Pictures, maybe not.
Yeah, like I said, look, I think I responded like maybe. I don't know.
All right. Movie Web posted an interview with James Mangold talking about Swamp Thing that he's producing and writing and directing for DCEU. Just to remind everyone, James Mangold recently released A Complete Unknown. He was a director and screenwriter for that. He was director and writer for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. He was director and screenwriter for Logan. He also directed Wolverine and 310 to Yuma, amongst other films. He also has the new Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi as an upcoming picture that's in post production right now. James Mangold considers his Swamp Thing adaptation to be a standalone horror movie. He wants to do something unique. He doesn't want to be tied down to the legacy of Swamp Thing, which, makes feelings about, because I'm a comic book nerd and I'd prefer to have things stick to, the legacy. But, I don't know. James Mangold, hit or miss. I don't know if you guys watch, Wolverine Origins. It's fucking
Yeah.
terrible. It's fucking terrible.
It had a lot of promise, and they ruined Deadpool, man. They just
Yeah, it was
they
terrible.
ruined
But
Deadpool.
Logan was good.
Yeah, Logan was a
So,
good movie.
and it didn't stick to the comic book, which was fine. He still did a good job with it. So I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. I for one, if you go back and you watch the old Swamp Thing movie, it doesn't really hold up that well. The special effects aren't that great. The story is pretty good, but I have some nostalgia for that. It's gonna be tough to sell me on a new Swamp Thing film, especially when you're saying, when you're saying things like, Swamp Thing. I'm not gonna stick to the legacy. I want to do something new. I don't know if you guys have been watching Dexter. We talked last podcast last month. We talked about the fact that the Dexter New Blood series has started, and now we're into, I think, the second episode is this week. Dexter Resurrection has started filming. That's another Dexter series.
Yep.
Dexter Resurrection is a new storyline that is basically picking up after the end of Dexter New Blood, which was the series that they had. What was it, last year or the year before? Yeah, I can't remember. But still, Dexter's a good show. I liked it. I'm hoping that this is good. And if you guys have been here to
I
visit
didn't
me in
see
Long
any of them.
Beach,
I didn't see any of the
you've
Dexters.
you've been here to visit me in Long Beach. You watch those shows, you see all the Long Beach stuff in the
Okay,
background all
fun.
the time.
Fun.
It's supposed to be
Like
Miami,
the
but it's Long Beach.
the original one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on my queue, man. It's
Yeah,
one of
I
these
know.
days I'm gonna start watching it.
Well, I signed up for Paramount Plus
I got
with
it now.
Showtime so
I
that
got it
I
now,
could
too.
watch the new shows.
Yep.
Along with Yellow Jackets, which season 3 is on the way out soon too.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Okay. Welcome to Derry. We talked about this 2 years ago when they first announced it, but it looks like it's coming out to HBO this year.
Nice.
At the moment, there's no dates. We just know that it is coming to HBO later this year, or HBO Max, whatever the fuck they call that fucking channel now.
Yeah.
But there's an article in thedirect.com that says basically the director is saying, hey, listen, not all the kids are going to survive. Even the children aren't safe in this series.
Wow.
Nice.
It currently doesn't have a release date, but like I said, it is due this year on HBO Max. Welcome to Derry is going to bring another terrifying Pennywise story to audiences. And the series is going to be taking place in the 1960s. It follows a brand new group of losers, as the coined from the original, from the movie. It's Chapter 1, as they come face to face with the scariest clown that they've ever met.
Skarsgård again too. I understand.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
great that they got him to play the role, because if not,
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested in watching it now.
Yes. Sam Raimi has a new horror thriller in the works for 20th Century called Send Help. According to Deadline, Dylan O'Brien is going to be joining Rachel McAdams in the new Sam Raimi thriller Help Me, or Send Help, sorry. My understanding is that this film is a survival horror about colleagues who become stranded on a desert island. The only two survivors of a plane crash in the island. They must overcome past grievances and work together to survive, but ultimately, it's a battle of wills and wits to make it out alive.
Interesting. I kind of dig Rachel McAdams, so I'll check it
I
out.
do too, man. She was hot when she was young, and she's still hot.
It's unfortunate she was in that piss poor season of True Detective.
Yeah, what a shame.
Yeah.
My daughter managed to watch all of season 2 of True Detective. She said,
Really?
in the end, it wasn't all that bad. I'm like,
Mm.
really? She goes,
I couldn't make it.
I mean, you get to the end, it's not terrible.
I couldn't make it to the end.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
couldn't
I
either.
know.
I couldn't do it.
I know.
It was hard to match season 1. I mean, so
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dexter Resurrection, Uma Thurman is joining the cast, according to Deadline.
Nice.
Yeah, Uma Thurman has been tapped as a series regular to act opposite of Michael C. Hall in the Paramount Plus Showtime original series Dexter Resurrection. That's pretty awesome. I really like Uma Thurman. Haven't seen her in a lot of stuff lately, so
I was
that's
just
really
gonna say the
nice.
same thing. I haven't seen her in anything for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess she's hit that age where it ends.
Yeah.
It ends at 50, right?
That's right.
yeah. So this is a desert. Like I said before, Dexter Resurrection is a present day follow up to Dexter New Blood. Started in New York. They started filming this month in New York City, and on X, Michael C. Hall did post a video from the set, which was pretty cool. Also, that launched pretty strong, according to Showtime and Paramount Plus, was the Dexter Original Sin. That's the new one about him when he was a teenager. So that one says they got more than 2.1 global views across
Oh,
multiple
wow.
platforms for that for the first episode, which is pretty amazing.
That's the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I like her too.
All right, we got a couple more stories yet. We got oh shit. 2 years ago, we talked about Toxic Avenger. During Beyond Fest, they had a screening of it. Everyone raved about it, and they kept
Peter
saying it's
Dinklage.
gonna get shelved, gonna get shelved. And Peter Dinklage is saying, "Somebody save this film." Well, guess what? It's gonna be in theaters 2025.
Nice. Who saved
Yep.
it?
According to Variety, Toxic Avenger remake will finally hit theaters in 2025, and it's gonna be an unrated film.
Whoa.
They were afraid.
Who's putting it out?
Here's the thing, right? It doesn't, the article really doesn't say who's going to be pushing this out. It says they had a hard time locking the distributor and determined that it was an unreleasable film due to the gore and graphic nature of it, and that trying to cut it down to a rated R was going to make it less watchable.
Yeah.
Like 31.
It says here, Cineverse has come to the rescue.
Oh, all right. All right. some of
Cineverse
this
has
stuff.
come to the rescue. They are going to release Toxic Avenger unrated film nationwide later this year.
Way to go, Cineverse.
Yes, praise Cineverse. Everybody give your money to Cineverse. Go see this film.
I will.
All right, we got one more here. We got Robert Eggers. So Robert Eggers, just this is a Hollywood Reporter exclusive. The article just came out this afternoon. Hollywood Reporter interviewing Robert Eggers. He has a 13th century werewolf thriller story coming out as his next film. Yep. Eggers has co-written a movie called Werewolf, WERWULF. Yeah. Werewolf horror project that he will direct in his next feature. It's going to be released by Focus Features, and Focus Features is part of Universal's art house division. They helped finance Nosferatu. They were excited with the results of Nosferatu and are backing this next film.
Speaking of Nosferatu, it's out
on digital right now. Yep.
Is it really?
Yep.
Yep. You can rent.
You can rent it. You can't get it. It's not on streaming, but you can rent it. And the 4K comes out in a couple weeks. I pre-ordered it already.
Yep.
But the Werewolf movie is coming out Christmas Day 2026.
Oh.
Just like Nosferatu.
Wow.
Yep.
It's got something with the Christmas releases.
Well, they pumped that out fast, though. That's a year from now. I mean, it must be pretty much wrapped up or close to it. And
yeah. All right. That is all for news. You guys got anything that you want to touch on that I did not mention?
Nope.
No, I got nothing.
Fantastic. All right.
I'm playing a video game called Among Ashes right now. Pretty good. It's a horror one.
What's the concept of the game?
It's actually it's kind of fun. You're playing a video game inside a video game.
Oh, it's like Inception.
And it's a horror video game. And then, like, while you're playing, your buddy's texting you, and like you hear noises in your house, so you get up out of your seat and go meandering around the house, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it sounds kind of neat.
It's a totally new concept.
Third person, first person.
First. I know.
Yeah, I suck at first person.
Me too.
Games. I mean,
It's
there's a
not
lot of games
bad
that look
because
interesting, but they're just.
It's not bad because you're not running around. Like the video game inside the video game is, like a pixel. It's not.
I get disoriented playing first person.
You won't with this one.
Yeah.
Like I said, it doesn't.
Maybe I'll look it up once it goes on sale.
Yeah.
Is it PlayStation only or is it multi-platform?
I'm not sure. I think it's on other platforms.
All right.
And it's pretty cheap now. It was only like $15 or $20, I think.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to 5 flicks to watch on a streaming service.
All right, 5 flicks to watch on Stars. I don't think we've done Stars, and if we have, it's been a long time since we've done Stars.
Who the fuck has stars?
Who has stars?
All right, let's go.
Why?
You're gonna laugh, but to be honest,
from Ash versus Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You kept it.
Nice.
You kept it, right?
I'm just fucking lazy as shit. That's all.
Wow, I did not keep it. When that show was over, it was gone.
And every once in a while, there's a movie on there that I want to watch. It's not on any other services, so it's
interesting. All right, yeah.
Still around.
Give us the list, man. All right.
All right.
Eager to hear it.
So 5 movies to watch on Stars. We got The Crazies, the 2010 version, not the original, but Timothy Olyphant. I mean, that was a really good movie. I liked The Crazies. Saw that in the theater.
It was a decent remake. Yeah.
I think that's on Paramount Plus now too.
Is it?
Yep.
All right, nice.
So.
Saw 10, another great movie. Like
all the Saw movies are on Paramount too, I think.
All right. Well, maybe Stars and Paramount have the same shit.
Yeah,
they might.
Which means I could get rid of Stars then, I guess. All right. Third one is The Blackening. I don't know if you guys have seen that one yet. That was also a 2023 movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's on something
It was
else
such
too,
a great. It was such a great concept of that movie. It was fun. It was a comedy horror, but it was
but it was good though.
Great concept. Don't Breathe. Loved that movie. I was pleasantly surprised by it when it came out.
I don't know that's it. See, that's one. It's on my list, but I don't know where to watch it.
Well, it's on Stars.
Yeah,
you can watch it on Stars. Now you know where to watch it.
It was a good one.
Oh yeah, real good. I mean, the sequel, which I when you watch the original, like how the hell are they going to make a sequel to this movie?
It's a Fede Alvarez film, so it is a decent film. Man.
Yeah. And the sequel wasn't bad either. Like I was surprised, like I said, because how do you make a sequel to that? Well, you haven't seen it then. And my last one is Cocaine Bear, which was also a great horror comedy.
I didn't watch it.
Dude, it was surprisingly good.
It's part of it's sort of a true story too, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure it's over exaggerated, but
dude, and the gore in it is phenomenal. There's so much gore in it, like it was a good movie. So those are my 5 flicks to watch on Stars. If you don't have Stars, then you can probably watch them on Paramount Plus.
Fantastic.
Except for Don't Breathe.
Excellent. All right. Oh, man, the air is so dry here. Yes. Doing all this talking is killing me.
You need a lozenge. You need the Werther's Original.
Yeah. Well, that'll make me shit my pants like an old grandpa.
How about a Cherry Luden?
Cherry Ludens. Oh, shit. I might put Cherry Ludens. Give me a second. I might actually have one.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey, there you go. Hey.
Yeah, look at you.
Some good shit right there.
Not as much.
You need the box with the plastic.
the wax paper box.
Wax paper.
The best was when they got older and they started to get a little like chewy because they got moist.
Yeah.
All
right. Not a sponsor, by the way. Not a sponsor. All right. For those of you playing along at home, normally we would do our top 5 lists. Actually, this time it's the top 10 list for the year. We're going to pause that and do it at the end of the show as we are watching a film that was released in 2024, and we're going to review that.
And there's a
the
possibility it could be on our lists.
possibility it will be on all of our lists.
Yeah.
All right. The film we are reviewing is the 2024 Coraline Frigate film, The Substance. Let's just read what is happening here? Let's just read what we got here. The Substance. Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? You, only better in every way. You should try this product. It's called The Substance. It changed my life. With The Substance, you can generate another you, a younger, more beautiful, more perfect. You just have to share time. 1 week for one, 1 week for the other. Perfect balance of 7 days each. Easy, right? If you respect the balance, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
All right.
One.
This is directed by Coraline Frigate, produced by Coraline Frigate, Eric Feller, Tim Bevan. Screenwriter was Coraline Frigate. Distributed by Mubi. The production company was Working Title Films. It is rated R for graphic nudity, gore, language, strong violence content. The genre is horror drama, English language. It was originally released in theaters September 20th, 2024, and then released to streaming October 31st, 2024. The box office gross was $16.5 million for a 2 hour and 20-minute film.
It's not a lot, is it?
No. I'm pretty sure they spent most of their budget on the actors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
because
and then
there's really only three main characters in the entire movie.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And they were all fucking A-list actors. And the special effects were mostly practical, which was fucking amazing.
Impressive.
Yeah.
If those were, there was a couple times that I was like, there's got to be some CGI involved in this scene. And as we start talking about the movie, I'll tell you where I was like, it's got to be CGI.
And I know,
right?
let me tell you, I know exactly where a couple of the CGI scenes are because I watched the behind-the-scenes documentary about it. There is a 30-minute version of the documentary. A summary of the documentary is available on YouTube. I'll send you guys the link. I'll also post it in our Blue Sky feed for those of you on social media so that you can watch it too.
That'd be fun.
This is one of those films where I was lucky enough to get into the Beyond Fest screening of it with a Q&A session with Coraline afterwards. What a fucking film, man. Let me
Has
tell
she
you.
done other stuff?
Yeah, she did a rape revenge film a handful of years ago. I think it was called Revenge.
Oh, okay. I think I remember.
I have that on. It's on
was very
Shudder.
good.
It's
yes,
on Shudder.
yes, and it's very gory and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, they said it's like off the hook, like really good. It's on my list, and I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched it
her,
either, but it's
that's
been on my
her.
list.
That's her first horror film, her first horror genre film, and it was magnificent. It was so. Let me just say, it was so good. Released as an independent film. This is why Universal Pictures gave her cash to make this film. Because they were like, that film was amazing. This film was also amazing.
They're like, I watched it twice now because I watched it last month and then I watched it last night again because I wanted to have it fresh in my mind for this show.
I too watched it today also.
It's one of those movies like in I remember the first time I watched it, the new one, how it was a good horror movie, but it was also like a great movie. Like it was just a good movie. There was so much about it that was like just great. Besides being a horror.
Yeah,
and
just a well done film overall. Yeah,
the cinematography was great. The effects were great.
Really crazy.
The cinematography was fantastic. The way they cut some of the scenes was,
or the close-ups.
The
close-ups.
Oh my god!
The eyeball.
The lingering too long at just like one thing, and the music and that wah 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 wah, like in the background, like it was such a great use of visuals and sound, and the acting was phenomenal. Like,
Coraline Frigate said that she had what she referred to as the lab, which was like a bulk of the budget was spent on experimenting on visual effects, experimenting on not visual like computer effects, but practical ways of making the effects she needed, but in a cheap and practical way. Like the scene where by the way, let's stop right here and say it's going to be a spoiler filled review because there's
You
so
kind
many
of have
great
to.
things to talk about this. There's no way to avoid it. But what I'm going to say is stop right here. Go watch this film. If you
Go watch
haven't
this
seen
film.
it, yeah,
Go
if you
watch it.
haven't seen it, which is hard to believe that if you're a horror genre person that you haven't seen this film yet, if you haven't, go see it now because it is so fucking good. So good.
On many levels. On many levels. Like,
Not only that, the message that it
uh,
conveys is perfection.
I think to
Yep.
me that was the most horrific part of the movie was
Yes.
that message. Like it made me feel like, especially as like a dude who has occasionally objectified women, because that's how I was raised.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hot chicks, you're supposed to like look at them and look at
Playboy had a big part of that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
dude. But like I was just like, wow, this is. Oof.
It made you think, and it made you go, "Fuck, is that really like women go through that kind of existential dread and anxiety?"
Craziness, right?
And you
Yeah.
and
really-
you get the whole like gamut too of the way that attractive women are treated and must feel, and then how semi-attractive women are treated and must feel, and then like ultra gross disgusting women, and I'm sorry for saying that.
Yeah.
I really am sorry for saying that, how
Yeah.
they must feel, because
Yeah.
we're all human beings, right? Like
Yeah.
I just, oh man, I felt bad. I felt like there's a couple times I laughed and I was like, am I supposed to be laughing here? Because I probably shouldn't be laughing, but
And all the proof you need that this is a great film is that Demi Moore won the Golden Globe
Yep.
for best actor in a what was it, a comedy, sci-fi, or horror?
Sci-fi, yeah.
she had so many. Her range in that movie too was just great. From stoic to like flipping her shit.
Possessed, like possessed. Yeah, like
Yeah.
possessed. Yeah, like just.
I think one of my favorites was when she was like, she had like half of her shit drained out of her and was cooking from the French cookbook and
Oh,
watching her young self on TV and just like getting pissy and like yelling and like I was like that was a
Control yourself!
Yeah, when she comes out of the closet and there's like chicken bones and shit everywhere, and she's like, control yourself.
oh dude.
All she does is sit around on her fat ass and watch me. There is no her.
Yeah.
You are
It's only
one.
you
Yeah.
are one.
Which to me is the message there is about self-loathing.
Yeah.
How women can be so manipulated by their environment, by society, that they cannot love themselves.
Yeah.
And that when you are now forced in these two individual roles, she could not love herself. She could not get along with herself.
And I think that was one of the parts of the movie that hit me the hardest was when she was deciding whether she wanted to like end
at the end.
it.
Yeah, should I terminate it? And then she's like, "No, I can't."
And
it
was so hard. And it was so hard for her to do that, right?
And she's
You're
the
like,
only part
like,
about me that people love. Like
Yeah.
she's the only thing that people love me for. My youth and my beauty. If
Yeah.
I lose that, I have nothing. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God. So she's willing to put herself through that to give that part of her,
It was heart-wrenching, man. Heart-wrenching. But yeah, so I just want to go back and say, now that we're spoiling everything, okay, there's a great scene when she injects herself for the first time, and then she falls to the ground and her back is splitting open, and they show these like red lights coming at you. That was all practical. They put lights on these two spinners, filmed going in at the camera. They had the spinners. They turned the lights off. They did it from a couple different angles. They used different lenses. Like the majority of that film had no digital enhancements. There was a handful of scenes, less than a handful, 3 scenes that I know of that they talked about where they did slight digital enhancements. Even the scene at the end where she melts into the star, a blend of physical of her face in the rubber mask, and then a transition into an actual practical wax version of her that melted away, that they used heat guns to melt away.
Really?
Yeah. So much practical stuff.
So Monster Elizsu, that final thing when Demi
Where she's
Moore's
on the
like
star.
face was like, that was like they were actually like jammed together in like a body, or were they the way
No,
they shot it, like
they shot it that they had her face like with the lace over
Yeah.
it. They filmed that scene, and then they filmed the scene with Margaret Qualley, and they edit the two together perfectly. It was just fantastic that they didn't have to do any digital bullshit to make it all happen.
dude,
Crazy.
that Liz Sue monster was
Monstero
Yeah.
Liz Sue.
Yeah.
I loved how they put that there too. Like that was
Yeah,
just like
big
I was like
letters.
that was beautiful. Like
Yeah.
because they introduced each one of them when they became, and I was like, nice.
Yep. They did Elizabeth, then Sue, and then Monstero Liz Sue.
Sue.
Yeah, that was fucking great.
She man, I like. And you wanted to be repulsed by her like everybody else was, right? But then when she started saying "I'm still me," like
Dude, the one scene where my daughter was like, "What the fuck?" is when the boob like comes out of that hole and like falls to the ground.
I was
my
like,
daughter was like, "What the fuck?"
Is that a boob? It's just like, and like, I also thought it was funny, but then I felt bad too when she was putting her earrings on and like she was just kind of sticking them
was like
where her ears
on
were
top of her head. Yeah,
and it's kind of like polishing a turd. But then I was like,
yeah,
like I felt bad because like she's just extremely ugly, but she wanted to make herself still look pretty. Like, and I was like, man, I shouldn't feel this way about that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Craziness. And the amount of blood during the Q&A session after the screening I was at, Coraline said they shopped around a couple different theaters. Like they wanted to shoot it practical in a theater, and then they're like, you know what, no insurance company would cover them on the cost of revamping the theater after trashing it with all that blood, so they used a full soundstage in France, and they built a theater in the soundstage in order to film that scene.
Nice.
The Guars, I was telling Carmen, like, it's Guar concert.
Dude, but it was like 20 times the amount of blood that Guar had.
I know.
And the great thing is the way they filmed that is they had a camera. So Coraline had the Monstero head that she wore with a camera attached underneath it and the blood tube right above it, so they could show the perspective of the blood shooting everywhere from Monstero's head. It was fucking amazing. Just amazing.
So that scene, like in my head, like I was thinking that was also symbolic, right? Like, so the self-destruction of that star, the blood that was then spewing all over the audience was symbolic of the blood was on their hand, like her
they created the monster.
Yeah, and then like her destruction was their fault. Like that's why they were all getting sprayed with. They created it, and then it I was like, man.
Yep. I think that's exactly right. I mean, that's the same thing I thought about it.
It was gory as shit, but it also had meaning, which is I think it's great when you could take just like thousands of gallons of blood and have some meaning behind them. That's brilliant.
The scene that I also found very moving was, after the first time that Sue extended her stay, and Elizabeth had the finger got all crooked and gross looking, and she was like, I she battled with the idea that I can't let the other me be the end all of everything, right?
Right.
So she found the phone number from the high school buddy that she ran into, and she thought, I'm going to go on a date. She called him, lined it up. They spend 15 to 20 minutes of her getting ready, and then she goes into the bathroom and my breasts are well, let me put a scarf on and cover that a little bit, and then she's looking, and well, maybe there's too much blush, and then she goes out to the door and she's looking in the doorknob, and she's struggling just to have enough confidence to leave the house.
And this guy's not for nothing, but probably the geekiest guy in her class, and she
could not muster enough self-love to get out the door.
But he also showed her the love that she sought.
Sure. Yeah. That's why she called him back.
Yeah.
But then she just couldn't do it.
Wasn't enough to motivate her, and then she rubs the makeup off and she rips the fake eyelashes off, and she said she filmed that scene 5 times, and she said her skin was raw by the end of it. just rubbing off all the makeup, and then
The
they had
scene
to put
itself
it back
was
on.
raw. I
right?
mean, the scene itself
Yeah.
was raw, so I could
It
see
was raw.
like just the angst that like she conveyed in that was.
Yeah, I mean, number one, like Demi Moore is what, 60,
62, 63, I
62,
think.
63 years old, right?
They were fake bodies too, I think, right?
Well, here's the thing. Her breasts were real. Margaret Qualley's breasts were fake.
Yeah,
They
you
look
could
kind of
tell.
fake. They look kind of
Yeah.
fake.
So Demi Moore's were real. Okay.
Demi Moore's were real. Margaret Qualley's were fake. It was because Margaret Qualley, is not chesty enough to
Comfortable.
be the younger version. Well,
Oh.
she's not chesty enough to be the younger
Oh,
version
okay.
of Demi, so they had to pump them up a little bit, with fake ones.
Gotcha.
To me, it seems like there's a lot of very intimate shots of Demi Moore in the film.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Like when she's on the
Um,
floor, like writhing around, and like she's like completely nude. Like
Yeah.
I was like,
A
man,
bunch of times.
Or
Yeah.
when she was in the shower, like having that meltdown after the whole fucking Sue, like going for weeks on end, and she was like, her hair was gray and everything. It was,
yeah.
yeah.
One of the only scenes that I had a hard time with was that when she does come out and she's like basically like this super old lady, and she like wants to go get more of the substance, and when she gets up out of that chair and she can barely move,
Oh.
like she like her like leg snaps
Yeah.
and like and then all of a sudden she's sprinting around. I'm like she like came back
Yeah.
and then like I was like, where did she like how is she all of a sudden now just like moving all over
Well,
the place?
you could notice though. You notice that here's the thing, right? Because she was sitting on that chair for the whole week, so she was
Okay,
a
so it
little
just
stiff.
took her a while to get up and get okay.
Right.
All right, is that what it was?
Well, even when she was running around, notice her gait is different, right?
Yeah.
Because she is older now, because it's drained some life from her.
A lot of
Yeah.
life.
A lot of life.
Which I thought was great. That was great. The scene where
That
she meets
finger.
that guy in the diner that had the thing on his hand.
Yeah.
That was the guy who got her onto the substance. He's like, "Has she started to eat away at your life yet?"
Yes.
And I was like, "Yeah, oh shit! Like this is that dude." And like he's
Well,
had
and
the
then
same
you
thing.
think, what a fucking dick for like turning her on
Yeah.
to it. Like,
Yeah.
he's suffering, and it's like misery loves company.
But it was the younger version of him. The younger version still is like, hey, I'm loving
the
life.
greatest thing ever. Yeah. Fuck. What a fucking film, man. And then the most brutal scene outside of the blood scene was when she tries to terminate it. She loses her mind and says, I can't.
dude.
She does the transference, and Margaret Qualley, they become two individuals. Margaret Qualley character, Sue, just beats the fuck out of Elizabeth.
Oh.
Yeah, she does, man.
Like the amount of strength, because when she's holding that bathroom door shut and she's kicking and kicking, and you see the hinges starting to come off, it's like, God damn. That scene was just absolutely
Yeah, she
amazing.
beat the crap out of her. Like just
Kicked
like
her across the room.
destroyed her. And that's what like and then they had to remind you again, like, you are one.
Yeah.
Like now you've just basically killed the Matrix.
Yep. And then she goes to do her New Year's Eve ball
And her
thing,
fucking teeth
and
are
she
coming
goes
out.
into the bathroom, and her fucking tooth falls out.
Yeah.
And then while she's in the elevator, her ear falls off.
Yeah.
And I love how they change the sound design. Like all of a sudden, like you hear muffled
it's
up.
like
There was some good sound effects in that movie too. Like
Dude,
real,
the sound
like,
design was amazing.
I like that
Like-
too when he's like smile, and she's like, she's got no teeth, and
yeah.
she's like, just
Like when Dennis Quaid's eating his shrimp, and they just like the microphone's like right there. Like,
well, it's to tell you how gross he was, right? I
yeah,
mean,
he
it's
was
just
great too.
Well,
I mean,
right, because they were trying to show that for
he's
men,
a pig. He's a pig.
be as old and as ugly as you want,
and disgusting.
you're still in power, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And it was one of the things that I remember the night of watching the premiere. I came home to my daughter and I said, "Man, they made Dennis Quaid like look horrifically gross. Like the way he was eating the shrimp, and they used wide angle lens, so like his face was slightly distorted.
Yeah, his like teeth were like all like yeah.
And then Coraline said during that scene he ate 2 pounds of prawn.
Wow.
She said they filmed it a bunch of times. He ate 2 pounds of prawn.
That's a lot of prawns, man.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, what a fucking movie, man. Well, like you said, you saw it twice. I saw it 3 times because I saw it during the premiere. No, actually, I saw it 4 times. I saw it
Wow.
during the premiere. I saw it in the theaters on the opening night. I watched it with my daughter, and then I just watched it again today to refresh my memory before our show here.
Yeah, my wife and daughter both watched it and loved it too. So
Yeah, my daughter loved it. My sister loved it. I got a bunch of other family members to watch it. They're like, "Holy crap, what a freaking film!"
I can imagine too, even though like I think, we kind of get the message behind it, it probably still hits different when a woman watches it.
Absolutely,
Like
absolutely,
they probably feel it a lot more than we feel it. Like
absolutely.
I'm an empath, and I understand and I can try to feel it, but I probably don't feel it the way that they feel it,
No, definitely not. Yeah, definitely not. I mean, I tried to have some empathy and be like, yeah, I mean, to be in their shoes, I just couldn't even fully experience or understand that.
Mm-mm.
But I do believe that it's got to be terrible. Um, yeah, what a freaking film. And then when Demi Moore did her acceptance speech, that was moving too because she said
It was.
she never won. I didn't know this. She never won a single Golden Globe or Emmy or any of that stuff for her work in her career. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
And I don't usually watch those award shows, but I just watched her acceptance speech, and it was great.
Yeah.
And she did some crazy shit too, right?
She did a lot of great films, man.
Shaved her head for G.I.
Yeah, G.I. Jane. Dude, she did a great supporting role in
A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. That was fucking
Ghost.
amazing. That was an amazing supporting role.
Ghost.
She
was
she didn't win. Ghost, holy shit, how many fucking Oscars did Ghost win? She didn't get a single one for that?
I personally loved her in Nothing But Trouble.
Again, another great film. Oh, wow. I mean, jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And I didn't realize Margaret Qualley was Andy McDowell's daughter until I found it out. I was like, oh shit, that is Andy McDowell's daughter.
I think she looks a little bit like her. Like I knew right away that it was her daughter.
I didn't at all.
Really?
And then when I read it, I'm like, oh, okay, I can definitely see it now.
And she's been in a lot of great films too. She was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She played one of the girls at the ranch.
Kim watched something called The Maid. It was a show on like Prime or something like that, and she said her and Andy McDowell were both in that.
Yeah, she was in a ton of great stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I love that film. I ordered the 4K of it because I cannot wait for it to come out, and I'm gonna say I give that film 5 stars.
Wow, I'm going 4.
I'm going 4.5. I'm close to a 5, but I have a hard time giving something a 5 because I don't know. I'm going 4.5.
4.5 it is. American Nightmare Podcast 4.5 stars for The Substance. Their marketing campaign was great too. I got a little pen that looks like a needle that says The Substance on it. It's got yellow liquid in it.
I got an envelope because I subscribe to Fangoria.
Yeah.
Fangoria sent a special envelope along that looked like the envelopes for the movie.
Nice.
And when you open it up, it had like a little mini Fangoria magazine in it and a card that said "You Are One," and then it had like the 2 little like D's or whatever that symbol was on it. I was like,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. Like Fangoria getting in on like the.
Plus, if you call the phone number, you get the answering service for The Substance.
That was the cool thing too. That guy, whoever that guy was that answered the phone.
Yes.
Yeah. Write this down.
Yeah.
The guy is such a dick. Yeah. I'd like to see who the guy was that did that voice because he did a good job too.
Control yourself.
I just love that scene. All right, that's fantastic. All right, let's get to our top 10. This is the top 10 films that we enjoyed during the 2024 calendar year.
What a year it was for horror.
What an amazing year.
I have ones I'm leaving off the list,
Yeah, I know.
The list this month is Sal, Chris, Craig. All right, let me get started with this. My number 10 Destroy All Neighbors. One of the first films I watched this year,
Yep.
and it really was a fun film. I really
That was a
enjoyed
fun
it.
film. I thought it was great.
My number 9 is Maxine, the third in the trilogy of the X trilogy. It was a good film. I really enjoyed it. It was very different from the other two films, but it still was good.
Yeah.
Of the three, it was my least favorite, but it was still a good film.
Yeah.
My number 8, Infested. That one really, as being a foreign film, a French film, was really great. Really enjoyed it.
Creepy spider movie, man.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with spiders, dude. My number 7, In a Violent Nature. Very unique film.
Yep.
Filled with a lot of silence, but yet a very unique take. I enjoyed that one quite a bit.
And some brutal killings.
Brutal killings. Really, even unique, never seen before on film killings.
Yeah.
My number 6, Alien Romulus. It was a fantastic take on the alien universe, and definitely
another one coming.
Right? Another. This one's a sequel to Alien Romulus, so I'm loving that.
Yep.
Now that took place between Alien and Aliens, right?
That's correct. Yep. My number 5, Sydney Sweeney in Immaculate. This was a film. This was the year for feminist films.
For sure.
And they were all very impressive.
I love the ending of that one.
Yeah.
Dude, that ending was just intense.
Dude, when I saw the premiere of that one, I think I told you guys, like, while I was sitting in the theater waiting for everyone to get seated, they were playing Jesus music.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
And then at the end, like, I couldn't help but to gasp. At the end of that film.
Yeah, that last 5 minutes was so intense.
Yeah. My number 4, another feminist film, The First Omen. Okay. I loved The Omen as a kid, and this one as a follow-up to that, the way they even tied it in as a prequel at the end, fantastic. Loved it.
I agree. It was a nice. Some of the other Omen sequels were just okay. This was a nice.
Oh yeah. My number 3, Longlegs. What a great film. That was a good, scary film.
Yep.
It was. Made me very uneasy. All the images of the jump, Satan in the background. Like, a lot of people that I talked to, like, I never saw Satan in the background. Dude, he like shows up 5 or 6 times in the background in the shadows.
And from the jump to that first 10 minutes, like, it just starts out with a bang.
Yeah, a literal bang. My number 2, Nosferatu.
Okay.
I mean, that film. Let's put it this way. Saw it on Christmas Day with my daughter. Yeah. She went back to see it with her friends 2 more times.
I enjoyed it. It was a good movie.
Yeah. My number 1, The Substance. To me, that was the end all be all of horror films this year, and it's a shame that it's going to get snubbed at the Oscars. I'm telling you right now, it's going to get snubbed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that happens to horror flicks, right?
Yep. There's no respect for genre films. All right, Chris, your turn.
And we're not doing honorable mentions, right? Because we have 10. So
there's 10 no honorable mentions.
Okay. It was tough, man, because there was a lot of good movies out this year. So
there sure was.
Some of them got bumped off the list, and I still enjoyed them. So my number 10 is The First Omen. I also really enjoyed that film. Unfortunately, I watched that right after I watched Immaculate, and so
me too.
Immaculate just ruined the First Omen for me. But it was still a really good film.
Yeah.
Number 9 for me is Terrifier 3. I'm a sucker for Art the Clown, and there's some great brutal
gory one. That one.
It's a slasher flick, and I like slasher movies. I don't expect a whole lot out of them. So number 8 for me is In a Violent Nature. Again, some great kill scenes in that.
Yep.
The long scenes of him walking through the woods were somewhat funny. Because it was just him walking through the woods.
Yeah.
Number 7 for me is Infested. I also thought that was a great
film.
Great spider movie. That one scene where they had to get down the hallway.
Dude, had me on the edge.
Yes, great scene. Number 6 for me, Late Night with the Devil. I thought that was a really interesting take on a movie. I thought David Dallas-Mashon played a great role.
Definitely hasn't been done before, right?
I thought it was great.
Yep.
Number 5 for me, Strange Darling. What an interesting film that was. Shot out of order, so it kind of keeps you disoriented throughout the movie. It's
The ending was crazy too, right?
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
like that, and I think that's why they shoot it out of order to kind of keep so you don't know what's going to happen at the end. I was really impressed by that. Like caught me off guard. I had read a couple things about it, and I was like, yeah, we watch this tonight. Really good flick. Number 4 for me, Long Legs. Uh, Man, Nick Cage in that movie, like just creepy
Dude.
as shit. And
Yeah.
and the movie was just eerie. The entire movie I felt uneasy. Number 3 for me, Immaculate. The end of that movie just like it sticks. I'm gonna always remember the end of that movie. It's one of those things like people say Immaculate, like, man, that last like 10 minutes of that movie
Dude,
were just
and that movie almost didn't come out. We almost didn't get
yeah.
made.
Sydney Sweeney saved it, right? Like
Yep.
she put
Yeah.
her
She
own
saved
money
it.
in to save that
Yep.
movie.
Yeah.
God bless you, Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah. What a film.
Number 2 for me is Heretic. I loved the
Wow.
concept of that movie. Hugh Grant was awesome in it. The religious there was a lot of religious movies that came out this year, and I hope that they don't stop coming out. I got a feeling that those movies. Who knows?
They become close to reality.
They might become, or the movies themselves might become, like underground
Might
flicks
get
that you can't.
they might get banned. They may not be available
Yeah,
in theaters in the future.
But I thought the idea behind that movie was just great. And another movie where the last like half hour of it just was like, damn. And my number 1 is The Substance. I mean,
Yeah.
it was all around just a phenomenal movie. Bravo to the people who put that movie together.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my list. I had
It
other.
sort of had
but-
a Dorian Gray kind of story though too, right? Kind
Yeah.
of.
Well, I think Coraline Forget said she sat down and wrote this thing because she had this idea to portray something, and I think she's just brilliant. She said it took her like a year and a half, 2 years to write the whole thing out.
Yeah.
But man,
I'm looking forward to
But I
seeing more
sort of
stuff
had
by
that,
her.
like while I was watching, I was like, it kind of had Dorian Gray, right? It was like
yeah.
the ugliness and sort of, kind of. All right. So
Great.
my number 10, I saw the TV Glow. I don't know if you guys probably.
I
anybody
haven't
No?
watched it.
Okay.
It's in my
Didn't
queue,
watch
but I
it.
keep jumping over it for other stuff. And I'm not
Is that
sure
wait?
why.
Is that an A24 film?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Or
yeah.
Neon. I don't remember. It's.
I think
one
it
of
might be
Oh,
Neon.
It's
One
neon.
of the two.
You're right. You're right. It's
Yeah.
neon. It's neon.
them. It's different. It's not gory. It's just different, but it had me like just sucked in, like the whole movie.
I've heard it's a really good film.
Yeah, it's totally different. Totally different though.
Difference good.
Not like anything I've ever seen. Yeah. Number 9, I went with Heretic.
Yeah.
Again, kind of a unique
Great film.
movie.
Hugh Grant was great.
He was, and I hope people appreciated that. And
Well, I'm excited for you guys to see that Thatcher girl.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Sophie
the girl-
Thatcher. She's been in a
Sophie
lot of stuff
Thatcher.
too. She's a great
She-
actress.
She's in at the end of this month. That new
she's
horror
in
movie.
Yellow Jackets too, right?
That's
Yeah.
correct. She plays
Yeah.
the young version of what's her face?
Juliette Lewis.
Juliette Lewis.
Yeah.
You guys, the end of this month, Companion comes out.
Companion.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got to
Dude,
got to
that
see it.
trailer looks amazing. I can't wait
I
to
s-
watch that movie.
Dude, I saw the early screening of that one, not knowing anything about it. Again, audibly gasped at least 4 times during that film.
Really?
Yeah, like
Wow.
I was like, oh,
Going to
my
see that for
God.
Valentine's Day, I think.
You should. You
Yeah.
should. You won't regret it.
But yeah, I hope he does the other stuff other than rom-coms like he used to, and I think this is kind of help him just with some other roles.
Yeah, he was great, I thought.
Number 8, I went with Oddity. I don't know if anybody else had that one on.
No, I didn't have that one. It was a good film, but it just didn't rank up there with all the
Yeah,
others
like I
liked.
said, it was tough because there were so many good films that we watched
Yeah,
that
I
I
know.
watched this year, and
It was quite the year for independent films too. I mean, there were so many really good independent films that came out.
Yep. Number 7, went with Late Night with the Devil. I think.
Great film. Yep. Almost made my list. Almost made my list.
Yep. Number 6, I had Salem's Lot. Nobody had that one on there.
I haven't watched it yet.
Highly anticipated that movie, and it didn't
It was
disappoint.
good. Yeah, it was good.
It didn't disappoint. And I didn't see Nosferatu, so I mean I got other stuff there.
dude, again, too
Really
many
good movie.
films to
I
try and
know.
rank and narrow them
I
down to
know.
10, man.
I know. Number 5, I went with Alien Romulus.
Yep, very good.
Definitely top 5 for me. Yeah, what a great movie. Number 4, Immaculate.
Yep. All
Uh,
of us had that on the list too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Number 3, First Omen.
Yep.
I
Love
had a
that one.
hard time, but I
You know,
think First Omen was just a little scarier, I guess.
yeah. If you freeze frame at the right point, you get to see a jackal dick with a little bit
Yeah.
of spunk on the tip of it. A little bit of spunk on the tip.
Nice.
I'll have to watch it again, I guess.
Well, you know what happened? There was a scene where like flash, and I go, "Look, what the fuck? That was a subliminal of a fucking jackal dick. I know it was." Started rolling back, freeze frame, boom, jackal dick right on the screen, and there was a little spot of spunk on the tip of it. I was like, "What the
Wow.
fuck?"
Nice.
Nasty.
Number 2, I went with The Substance. You guys
Nice.
both had
Yep.
it numero uno, but number 1 is Long Legs for me.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Wow. That's
We had
a
a lot of
shift.
similar
Yeah.
movies. We had a lot of
Yeah,
similar
we did.
movies.
Well, it's because we all appreciate great films. Come on. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's why we're doing the podcast, because we have so much in common with our
Yep.
interests in horror films that we almost pick the same shit most of the time.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. Great, everybody. What a year. What a fucking year.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
2025
Next
is
year,
looking
so
like
many things.
Best
Yeah.
so far, I think, right? Yeah, since we've been doing
Yeah.
it. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Fantastic. Well, that is the end of our podcast. And I want to take a moment to, number one, thank everybody for listening. I really appreciate it. No, we do this kind of to entertain ourselves. We're not making any money off this. We don't have any sponsors, any of that crap. We're doing it to have fun because we love horror movies. We like talking about horror movies. We like talking about horror video games and TV shows and shit. So thanks for listening in and coming along on this ride. If you want to give us any feedback, which no one ever does, but I'll say it again, as I always do, you can call us and leave us a voicemail, 1-562-247-5855, or you can email us at feedback@the-american-nightmare.com. Hit us up. Give us a top 10 list. Give us a movie to review. 2024 was filled with horror movies, and I'm sure we missed something out there that somebody thought was the greatest horror movie of the year. Let us know. Tell us what we're missing. Other than that, we will be posting another episode next month. Thanks for listening.
Peace out.